So yeah, just to set the stage here, she's trying to go to work. White protester. I feel like the white protesters, they used to be able to be used like, hey, you don't want to be called racist.
Yeah.
And then now I think they're a little over that.
Sure. Well, they're just like
leftist white people, maybe not like libs, but sort of like revolutionary leftist white people. I think they're kind of like, yeah, I'm a class guy, not a race guy.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, and you go, this is more important than.
So it doesn't. I think we don't care about on them.
Yeah, although it did. Remember the Brooklyn Bridge one when they were protesting Palestine, and they shut down the Brooklyn Bridge, and then they weren't letting cars through, and like all these people were honking, and this one black guy showed up. He's like, I gotta get my kid to daycare. Like he had to get to work or something, and they just were like, he was making a whole scene, and they just let him through.
Well, a lot of this stuff becomes a like annoying off, where you're just like, who's because 90% of people are just watching, being like, which of this is going to have the most annoying impact on my life, which is what probably people mostly think about protests, where you're just like, if it happens, it's probably the same as anything where you're like pride or whatever, you're just like, okay, whatever. And then if your car gets stopped and then, you can't get to where you're trying to go, you're like, you shouldn't even be getting married.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think another element with the black thing, Mexican thing, is that Hispanics, like, men voted for Trump like over 50%, whereas like black men didn't really vote.
Yeah, but the ones who voted, so I think they're not getting deported.
I understand. Well, but I understand. I don't know about that. Ryan thinks the fucking election system in this country is just rock solid. Listen, airtight.
There is such a law of large numbers here where every single case is happening.
Yeah, for sure. But I think the black community is like, well, yeah, you guys voted for Trump. Like, you guys love Trump, so enjoy this. Right, where they're like,
but
we didn't vote
I bet you
Trump.
there's a lot of them with their citizenship that are just like, yes, I am enjoying this.
Yeah, for sure. They want him out too. They go, we came here there's tons of people who are like, we came here the legal way, and we don't want this.
Lesbian versus black woman.
How do you as white people feel about stopping a black woman from going to work?
Oh no, not work. I care so much.
So you don't care about stopping black people from going to work?
Look at this line that you guys are causing. I'm not causing no problems. I'm not trying to.
This is near my old house.
Yeah. She should have kneeled.
That's what I'm saying, though.
She dropped down on one knee. They're like, what you doing?
It feels like the black powers aren't working on these white protesters anymore. No. I feel like in 2010, you'd be like, hey, you're about to do something racist. They'd be shaking in their boots.
Do you think it's because they fixed the black problem? Like in their minds?
They're like, we already fixed
that. That's fixed. And we've reordered.
Why do you think you have a job? Because of me.
Of course. Like the hierarchy has reordered. I love it. She's like, I have to get to work. I have a job. And the guy's like, oh no, a job.
Oh.
He's like, I haven't had a job in 12 years. I don't care.
He was like, yeah, your job used to be the Ku Klux Klan 4 years ago before I solved that.
Yes, correct.
You would never even have a job if it wasn't me. But it's interesting. The clash of the identities is always a very interesting one.
It is like, it's almost like the whites have decided, they go, we've reordered the hierarchy and we didn't let the blacks
Do you think they had a meeting? Was
probably.
there capes involved?
They probably, there's something. I mean, there's some sort of understanding where they go, this is the new, it's like in Canada with the Two-Spirit shit.
Yeah, they were just like, the natives are at the top. That's
they go, hey guys,
case closed.
Yeah, we're putting them at the front of the LGBT, case closed.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, I'm a gay man. They go, back of the line.
Don't make us put G at
don't make us put G at the end. Look, you shouldn't even be after L, so we're not putting you.
You've had it too good for too long, and how long? A couple of years.
Literally, a couple of years. Pretty much.
I think that.
I mean, these are all commies.
I think that's sort of the attitude.
Reasoning with commies.
Well, it's whoever's. If you are under the mentality of like this is like a class struggle thing, you're just like, well, whatever group we can use currently.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're just like, you have no use to us. Oh, you're a black woman with a job.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Go pay your taxes.
Here's a phone. Tell them you're not going to be making it to work today. It's the best I could do for you.
The powers weren't working, though. The guy was unfazed.
Unfazed. Yeah, I know. I mean, there's more important things. We did your black stuff.
I think that's the attitude, because I definitely know people that still in this right now would be like, if someone came up to them and they're just like, yeah, I'm going to talk to everyone about how you're racist and stuff like that. They would be just like, please fucking, for the love of God, what do you need? Do you want my clothes? Do you want money? Can I give you money?
Yeah. Blackmail.
You can have my job.
Extortion.
Yeah, but the climate protesters are the ultimate blocking off the roads, and I think they have the attitude of like, we're already so hated that it doesn't matter.
Sure.
Whereas in these protests, I think they are wanting sympathy, but they're just like, yeah, you're not getting.
I mean,
deported.
maybe
You're
he
from
got
America.
his one black friend was like, it's all good. Like, you know, there's one black friend there who's like doing the protest to kind of co-sign.
He's like, I'm co-sign.
I'm co-signing. Well, the black guy's blocking the traffic too. So sorry, you're not going to work today.
Yeah, I have a black guy co-signing that this isn't racist.
Yeah, that's my best idea. But also, these guys just love fucking protesting. Never met a protest they didn't like.
Every protest has like you know how like when you go to every festival, there's like this different guys. Like every you go to your hippie jam band festivals,
yeah.
they always have like the guy who's 75 that's selling balloons of helium and
Yep.
stuff like that. They all have their like archetypes. Then they have the rich finance guy. Every protest also has like a new crop of like fresh blood university students that this is their first protest and this is like a fun event.
Sure.
And then they have like the 70-year-old guy who's like, you know, this is like a lifestyle for him.
Yeah.
He probably resents the young guys a little bit because he's like, they don't even like.
Yeah, they don't. He goes, I was at Kent State, man.
Yeah, and he also thinks like,
they're like, it's the Vietnam people. You're describing the people they're like, yeah, we ended the Vietnam War.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
we actually did whereas like you guys have been protesting Palestine. And it's like, what have you done?
what have you done?
Nothing.
And also the older guys, I think after they've been protesting, they have a lot of more rules of what the protest is like. Hey, like they probably really hate it
They
when
have the
someone
songs.
Yeah, and when someone comes and like throws a rock through a window, they're just like, order. Like there's a way we do things. You know what I mean? This is.
Yeah, it's this new breed.
Yeah, these new breeds think you're going to solve the world in one day. This is a lifelong pursuit.
Yeah. We get no results. It's a lifelong pursuit. It's basically golf. It's golf for losers.
It's golf.
Because we do this our whole life. Nothing happens.
You barely get any better.
You barely get any better.
In fact, you get worse because you get older.
worse. Yeah, you get worse. Nobody listens to you. It's just a good way to waste 5 hours on a nice summer day.
Yeah, and they're kind of like walking down a street and then no one's there. And they're like, don't worry, we'll catch them on the back nine. Like on the back ninth street.
Back 9th Street.
It is sort of like golf for those people. So I think there's always a clash, and then there's just a bunch of people like me when I'm 16 that was like, oh, this is chaos.
Yeah. You just want I mean, hey, man, for some people, it's just the circus. You know, you just want to see.
It's the circus. You want to see it, and then there's also a lot of people that are like, oh, good time to steal.
Of course, the opportunists. The opportunists, yeah, man. There's that Foot Locker's looking mighty nice right now.
Foot Locker is staring them in the face right now.
Targets have been immune so far, though. Good for them.
I feel like for the Foot Locker, for some people that are at these protests, it's kind of like you get really drunk. It's 3 a.m. and your ex-girlfriend's number is just looking at you in the phone like, call me.
I mean, I think there's probably like organized crime gangs, and they just wait for opportunities where they go like, hey, we can just go loot right now, and like the odds.
This is a money-making opportunity.
Oh yeah. Like,
this is buying crypto at $2.
kind of. They're just like, hey, we can go loot right now, and like the odds of anything happening are pretty low.
Especially you got the shiesty on.
Yeah. of
Sometimes
course.
they do catch the people because sometimes once these super politicized ones, they keep looking for them for like months.
Well,
right?
here's the thing: they
put the
weren't
task force.
They
on
weren't
it.
under Biden. They will be under Trump. They will be looking for you for a while.
Yeah, some of these people,
sure.
some of the people that do this stuff do go to jail, especially after they went so hard on January 6th too. There's kind of going to be no mercy.
That's the funny thing is all these people who are like, yeah, January 6th was an insurrection. This one is not an insurrection. And you go, well, they're kind of both textbook insurrections. And you go, so
for a lot of
they're both or they're not.
How is this a textbook insurrection?
Well, the one with in LA where they're like trying to literally prevent like ICE and they're surrounding them and they're trying to get like, policies changed. Like that's literally what an insurrection is.
You know what it kind of is just in general with all protests? You're just like, because they always have the argument of like, oh, this is peaceful and other people it's not. And you're just like, every protest is the same. The first day or two starts peaceful and then it becomes rowdy and then it's rowdy until it stops.
Yeah. Until the National Guard comes in.
Until you go wrap it up and then, all right.
Yeah.
Where
are the water cannons at? Let's see. I want to see let's turn LA into a goddamn splish splash.
The actor who people were saying was, they were saying he's Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah.
But he's not actually Kurt Russell's son. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, so there's this actor, and I was kind of thinking he's a pretty good actor. Like if you were playing a protester in a movie, this guy does a pretty good job, right? So I was kind of admiring his acting. I was just like, well, I was watching him. The way that I try to do accents, I watch and I go, hello, mate. And I'm like, nah, I still can't get it. But I watched this and I was like, mocking his movements for when I do a protester. He's got it under control. Like if this guy was in NCIS, he'd be a really good protester. But
this is in LA?
Feel tough
Yeah.
with
Probably
your
been in
assault rifles
NCIS.
and your sticks. You should be standing here with us. You're on the wrong side of history. We know you got a job to do, but you took an oath to the Constitution.
He delivers it sort of like a
not
high
to the
school speech, you know?
White House. Think about what you're doing now. Think about what this means. Coming into our community. Peaceful fucking community. People working their jobs.
Doesn't he have a
They send
good
in
sort of
men in
temperament for
military
this?
fatigues.
I mean, he was rehearsing
Weapons of
that all
war.
night.
That's what I'm
before.
thinking,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was in a mirror. Just
Dude,
doing
he's
it.
not
And
stuttering.
you stand here and you allow it. I am sick and tired of it.
I almost think he has an earpiece in.
You should be sick and tired of it.
And his gist was he was saying to them, like, how do you go sleep at night?
Yeah,
what you're
of course,
doing kind of
of
thing. And a
course.
lot of these
Taking
guys
the
are like,
moral high
yeah, I don't know if your impression of like military guys is that we, and cops is that we like love this shit.
I mean, they're also like, yeah, we arrested like murderers and pedophiles yesterday. We sleep pretty good, actually.
Yeah, what did you do?
Yeah, like, what did you do? Literally, like, we took actual, like, fucking convicted sex offenders off the street.
So I looked up this guy because people were saying he's Kurt Russell's son. Turns out he's not actually Kurt Russell's
He's just
son.
a fucking nobody?
He's not a nobody.
Oh.
That's why I was sort of impressed with this guy at first, being like, these are pretty good acting chops. And that's what I was thinking. This is kind of like a guy who did a couple roles and stuff like that because he had the skills.
Pull up the IMDb.
He's sort of a plant a little bit because he's a pro.
Oh, interesting. So
He's a partner at Statecraft Media, a Democratic digital communications agency specializing in messaging and mobilization. He's literally a
so he's at work.
professional protester.
That guy's at work.
He's at work right now. He's trying to get a promotion. Dude, he has a company that like promotes protesting.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
He's basically like when you go to the karaoke and the guy's really good and you find out he's the karaoke guy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he goes, he's the fucking host. Of course he knows every song.
Yeah, of course the karaoke guy's belting out Sweet Child of Mine at the top of his lungs, hitting every note.
Yeah.
Before that, Fisher served as executive director as the Ohio House Democrat Caucus, later worked as a senior strategist as a Democrat at a Democratic firm, direct mail firm.
Okay.
So this guy's
in politics.
He's in politics. This guy's currently at an audition.
Yeah.
So he's bringing it.
He has designs to be like a proper politician too. Like this is his sizzle reel right here.
Dude, this is 100% his sizzle reel. So I was a lot less impressed with him once I found out that he was so in the game.
All right.
You know, if I found out this was just some guy that just got
Sure.
so impassioned, you're like, dude, you need to go pro.
Yeah, you have a future in this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I know we only get one of these every few months or a few years.
And then you look at his reel, it's him the other day outside of the Steelworkers Union talking to them.
He's
and
outside
then
of a Chick-fil-A.
He's out of Palestine. He's doing every protest known to man,
Yeah.
right?